Guys, Google has just made a huge upgrade to Gemini. It's now smarter, more helpful, and way more private than before. This update could totally change the way you use AI every day. I'm talking about features like remembering your personal preferences, private chats that disappear, new privacy settings, and even a big partnership with Oracle. Let's break it all down so you can see what's new and how it affects you. Okay, for those who don't know, Gemini is Google's smart AI assistant, kind of like ChatGPT, but built right into Google's ecosystem. You can ask it questions, get help with work, plan your day, or even create content. And now, with this new update, Gemini is moving closer to being your own personal assistant, one that actually remembers important things about you while still giving you full control over your privacy. And that's exactly what brings us to the new features in this update. Google has packed in a bunch of changes to make Gemini feel more like a smart companion than just a chatbot. Let's start with the first and probably the most exciting one, a feature called personal context. Think of it like this. Normally, every time you talk to an AI, it's like meeting a stranger. You ask a question, it gives you an answer. But next time, it forgets everything. Now, with personal context, Gemini can actually remember important details you have told it before. For an example, if you once mentioned that you are a vegetarian, it can remember that and suggest recipes without meat in the future. Or if you told it you were working on a project, it can bring it up next time and help you continue where you left off. This means you won't have to repeat yourself in every conversation. It feels more like talking to a friend who knows you. And you don't worry about privacy. This memory feature is totally under your control. If you ever feel like you don't want Gemini to remember something, you can turn this feature off anytime or even delete specific details it's saved. Next, we have the temporary chats. This one's all about privacy. Sometimes you just want to ask something quick, get your answer, and move on without it being saved anywhere, right? That's exactly what temporary chats do. These are one time conversations that don't get stored in your history and aren't used to train the AI. And the best part, they automatically disappear after up to 27 hours. So if you are asking about something private, like health concerns, personal finance, or even a surprise party plan, you can feel safe knowing it won't stick around in your chat history. And now let's talk about the new privacy setting. Google has changed a few things here to make them simpler and more in your control. First, something called Gemini Apps Activity has now been renamed to Keep Activity. The name makes more sense because it's basically asking, do you want Gemini to keep a record of what you do so it can learn from it and improve? If you say yes, a small sample of things you upload, like files or photos, might be used to make the AI better. If you don't want that, you can just turn it off. Also, if you are using Gemini Live, that's the feature where you can talk to Gemini through audio or video. All that content is off by default. This means nothing you say or show is saved or used unless you decide to allow it. In short, you get way more control over what Gemini can remember and use, so your privacy is fully in your hands. Alright, next, proactive personalized assistant. With all these new features combined, Gemini is starting to feel less like a simple chatbot and more like a smart companion. It can remember your preferences, understand your ongoing projects, and even suggest things without you having to ask every single time. This can be super helpful in everyday life, whether it's reminding you about tasks, helping you plan your week, or giving you ideas based on what you have been working on. Basically, it's moving closer to being your own personal helper who actually gets you. Now, for something big on the business side, Enterprise Boost with Oracle partnership. Google has teamed up with Oracle, which means people and companies using Oracle could now use Gemini's AI for text, images, videos, and even audio generation. This is a massive deal because it makes Gemini's power available directly inside Oracle's tools, and it's a smart move to compete with Microsoft, which already offers similar AI features through its Azure platform. So, in short, more businesses will be able to tap into Gemini's capabilities without switching platforms. Now, let's quickly talk about the pros and cons of this update. On the plus side, first, Gemini is now much smarter in conversations. It can remember important details about you, which means more natural and helpful replies. Second, privacy is way better. You now get features like temporary chats and more control over what data gets saved or used. And third, with the Oracle partnership, Gemini has a much bigger reach in the business world, which means more companies will start using it in their daily work. On the downside, the personal context feature is turned on by default, which some people might not like, especially if they are very privacy conscious. Also, this update isn't everywhere yet. It's only on Gemini 2.5 Pro in select countries, so many users will have to wait before they can try it. So here is the thing. As I told you, this update isn't available for everyone just yet. Right now, it's only running on the Gemini 2.5 Pro model, and even that is limited to a certain countries. But don't worry, Google has already confirmed that they are planning a wider release. Over the next few weeks, these features should start rolling out to more regions and more versions of Gemini. So if you don't see them yet, it's just a matter of time. Alright, now I want to hear from you. What do you think about this whole idea of AI remembering your preferences? Do you find it super helpful or does it feel like a bit creepy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to know what you think. And hey, if you found this video helpful, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss my next video on AI updates.